Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurliah binti Nordin, my metric number 1210353. In this video, we would like to talk about the freedom of expression from the Islamic communication perspective compared to the Western media. At the start, the term freedom can be broadly defined as doing something of your own free will. Freedom is based on a combination of civil human rights, which may include freedom of the press and speech, both of which literally fall under the generalization of freedom of expression. Islam guarantees everyone to have undeniable free speech and expression to the best of their abilities. However, it is not absolute and it must be balanced with a person's personal life, dignity, and personality characters in order to avoid turning the freedom into an issue. In the following part, we can see to what extent the Muslim community is free to use TikTok properly or improperly compared to Western media. TikTok is a medium that connects us to the outside world, religious matters, and entertainment that has both positive and negative aspects. It relies on the user's competence of the TikTok application. To fulfill this task, we use the quantitative method through respondent interviews.
Then I will talk about advantage and disadvantage of TikTok. TikTok can increase awareness to the community. Second, TikTok application is also responsible for influencing a large part of human life. And third, this application can be a platform to give something useful. Second is about disadvantage of TikTok. The disadvantage of TikTok is many people will spend more time on the TikTok application. Second, they watching TikTok for a long period of time can negatively affect your short-term memory, attention, and concentration. And last is TikTok is dangerous for children because it has ridiculous videos. In fact, some videos include material that should not be seen by children. That's all.
So, we will continue to our next slide about Islamic freedom. But before that, my name is Nabiha binti Muhammad Wira and my matrix number is 1210375. In this slide, I will tell you about the definition of freedom and the definition of Islamic freedom. In the dictionary, freedom is defined as the power or the right to do or say what you want without anyone stopping you. It is the condition or right of being able or allowed what you want to do, say, or think. Whatever you want to, it is without being controlled by anyone and the ability to make your own choices. It is called freedom of speech. In the United States, people theoretically have freedom speech. It means they have their right to say whatever they are moved to say. You will notice the word free in freedom. It is mean that you have your own choices and you can speak, you can think, and you can say what you want to without anyone stopping you. So, why we need to be here? Why we live in this dunya and what are the purposes of all this? At the end of our story in our life, we came from Allah and we will return back to Allah. So, what we do in this dunya, it is all about. There are 5 types of Islamic freedom. The first one is al-hurriyatu al-i'tiqad. It is mean the freedom that you have to choose whatever you want and what religion you want to follow in your life. The second one, al-hurriyatu tafkir fil hadarat al-Islam. The third one, you have al-hurriyatu arwa'i. The fourth one, we have al-hurriyatu an-nafsi. And the last one, we have al-hurriyatu as-siyasah, or the freedom in politics.
The next is we jump into the Western's freedoms. Westerns being individualistic country, they otherwise call a culture of freedoms in terms of norms, belief, system, tradition, custom, and proudly values their personal achievement as their status in society. Yet, at the same time, they are highly esteemed having their own character. Therefore, the relation of a Western or Western country in terms of freedoms. The first is libertarian theory. This theory aims to tell the people the truth, which means is a media work and is a central concept for people to broadcast and publish without censorship, which means in the France they are free to publish their posting directly to audience without constatutory with a media. Second is a social responsibility. Media outlet become enormous capitalism institutions. Westerners the belief that a freedom is simultaneously a right and a duty and a responsibility. They also impose a responsibility and the human to find about the truth, and they also a free and independent brands to contribute to the social awareness. The last but not least is auditory theory. In this theory, the media cannot criticize the ruling authority, minister or government employers, because the press must be controlled fully by the ruling authority, like a Great Britain's, which in this theory, like a publish can produce their posting as long as it does not contradictory with any of the institutions.
We have prepared three main questions in the analysis of the study. First question, from the point of view of the respondents we have interviewed, I found that the respondents state that freedom is a subjective matter. In Islamic perspective, we practices control freedom because there are limits set in the Quran and Sunnah, such as social freedom that doesn't exceed the limits of association. While the Western media are free to act according to themselves, like in the United States, they are free to speak out to uphold their respective rights. We move to the next question, which the respondents state that the TikTok app can be accessed without limiting age boundaries and there is no dividing line where users are easily exposed to the latest trends and spread them to the point of lowering their own dignity. Children are also susceptible to this application whether they follow their peers or their own family, where they spend hours just watching inappropriate content such as uploaded dance videos. For the last question, respondents state that freedom in Malaysia is controlled by law to prevent the country from falling apart. There are various contexts of multi-ethnic and multicultural society that in fact if there is no unification law, Malaysia may suffer from problems due to racial divisions, but with this law able to avoid any form of oppression. This is in contrast to Western countries such as the United States, where discrimination, prejudice and demonstrations often occur.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Nadana binti Zulkifli. My matric number 1210364. So now I will discuss the last part for this slide, which is conclusion. In a nutshell, the word freedom should be used to everyone. However, the word freedom also has a religious connotation. According to the Islamic viewpoint, freedom is the ability for all Muslims to do anything they desire, as long as it doesn't go against human values and their Islamic religion. Nowadays, TikTok apps has been used worldwide. Muslims can use this application to spread da'wah in the context of Islam. Furthermore, there is latitude in the application of TikTok to Western nations and non-Islamic religions. They employ social responsibility theory, libertarian theory, and authoritarian theory, among others. Islamic freedom is further constrained by the fact that the Al-Quran and Sunnah serve as a Muslim's personal rules of conduct. On the other hand, the government controls Western freedom, with the exception of Switzerland and Denmark, which are unrestricted.